right, good evening. My name is Lynette Kizito of House of Mutasiga. I am here with the one and only Gabriella Nazima. Hi, Gabby, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you doing today?
I am doing good. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. And I just want to start off by saying, girl, congratulations. Congratulations on winning Miss Africa 2023 at, is it the Syracuse University or did you say Syracuse University?
I say Syracuse University.
Okay, because some colleges are like, you have to put the in front of it. Okay, so this is Gabby. She is Miss Africa 2023 at Syracuse University. So, Gabby, how was that experience for you?
Um, this experience was really challenging for me. I learned a lot about myself, but overall, I did have a lot of fun. I learned to play the piano. I learned how to dress in Ugandan culture and learned how to, speak more Luganda. And I learned that Uganda really is a big support group that I did not know I had before.
Talking about that support group, how does that make you feel? Like, I know before we started recording, I had mentioned you were on my TikTok, you were in the WhatsApp group chats, you were on my Snapchat, you were on my Instagram. And how does it feel to have not only the backing of your family here and your friends here, but of like an entire nation? Like, the entirety of Uganda was vote for Gabby, vote for Gabby. How did that make you feel?
Honestly, it was a surprise to me. Like, at first, when my mom was like, okay, we're going to get people to vote, I was just like, okay, send to group chats, maybe. And then she was just like, oh, you're going to do an interview. And, me, I'm like, okay, interview? Like, okay, sure. But after the interview, it was just like hundreds of people following me on Instagram, hundreds of DMs, hundreds of messages. And it was just like, everyone was just like, I hope you win, I hope you win. I'm just like, wow, like, this is a lot. Like, this is a lot. And it just made me feel so like loved and encouraged to actually do the pageant and succeed in the way I did.
That is so cool. And again, you won. Congratulations on that. How was that moment for you? The moment they said, we are crowning you Miss Africa 2023 and put that crown on your head. How did you feel in that moment? Walk me through what's going on in your mind.
So we had walked out on the stage and they had us line up, and I remember like everyone was just like silent, like it was just so quiet and the lights were like very dim. And then the girl who won last year had announced it, and she was just like, okay, the winner of the pageant. She went quiet, everyone was quiet, and I was just like, okay, like if I don't win, it's okay, I tried my best, I did my best. And they said my name, and it didn't register that they said my name until like a few seconds after, and I was just like standing there like, oh, okay, I won. So then I walked up and I was just like, oh my gosh, like this is real. Like everything I put into it, the energy of everybody is like, it paid off. So I was just really happy.
That's so cool. So, right? Some people wake up and they're like, at 6 years old, I want to compete in a pageant. I want to be Miss World, Miss Insert, accolade or title here. What inspired you to join this specific competition at Syracuse University?
So being at Syracuse, it was clear that there was not many East Africans there. Haven't met any Ugandans there. It was just like the representation of us was very small. And last year, a person from Senegal won, and it was just like all the contestants were from West Africa. And I was just like, okay, like let me do it for fun. Like it was really supposed to be for fun. But then when we entered the competition and my competition were a person from Senegal again and someone from Ivory Coast, I was just like, okay, like I really have to represent. So I was just like, okay, you know what, let me do this. So when I was doing it, the whole goal was to show people that there's more to Africa than just West Africa. There's East Africa, and a lot of people don't know about Uganda, which is really interesting. I'm the first Ugandan a lot of people have met. So when I was like entering the competition, they're like, oh, Uganda. I was just like, yes, Uganda. So, it was just like, it was really good for me to be able to put Uganda out there.
Yeah, you put us on the map, okay? Because a little birdie told me this was the first time someone of East African descent had won the competition in the whole history of Syracuse University. That is not only awesome, trend setting. Okay, so we are very, very proud of you. But what do you think that means for representation and visibility of East Africans, Ugandans, and everybody on the eastern side of Africa, as far as not only on campus but in other pageants at other local campuses or just on a national stage? What is it? How does that impact how they see the other side of Africa?
I really think that me winning the pageant, even entering the pageant, just like showed people that there's again more to Africa than just West Africa. I have a lot of my friends, my East African, my best friend actually, she's East African, and her school has the African Student Union as well, and it's all West Africans. She's the only East African actually a part of the African Student Union, so it's just like there's not a lot of awareness of people who are from East Africa, and it's just crazy to me because it's such a big part of Africa, which people don't know. So when I won, the pageant, it was just like, okay, like, yeah, big Uganda, big rep, all that.
Thank you for repping for us and representing us so well on that stage, and of course taking home the crown. And another little birdie told me that you are part of a dance group, a dance team on campus. Let's talk about that. So, what do you guys do? How did you become a part of this group?
So this is actually a funny story. I tried out for fun because I did dance in high school, but I've never done African dance, and I didn't think I could execute the dances a lot of African people do. So when I tried out, I was just like, okay, like maybe I could do this, maybe I could do this. So when I tried out and I made it, I was just like, okay, this is new, but of course everyone on the team is West African, so all we did is West African dances, and I'm actually the only person that's like brought to the table like East African dances, East African music. It's just new to them because they're used to doing West African dances, but it's actually like a good experience. I've learned a lot about West Africa, which I didn't know. I learned how to dance, I would say, and yeah, I just have a lot of fun with all the people on the team, and I made a lot of great friendships as well.
Are you guys doing any Mazina Maganda on the team? Are you going to teach them a little something?
Hopefully in the future, but I'm not sure everyone can execute, the Buganda dance right. So I'll be open to showing them. So hopefully in one of our next performances we could throw that in. Yeah, just a little sprinkle. So yeah.
Well, I'll be looking forward to it. I've seen some of the videos and you guys are really, really good. You guys are super good. So, the people want to know, the people, me, and everyone watching us, want to know, who is Gabby? Tell us about Gabby, this Ugandan American in New York, Syracuse University. Tell us, what does Gabby like to do? What are your hobbies? What do you do in your free time?
So Gabby is me. I love to dance. Obviously, I do all types of dances. I actually love to play the piano. After the pageant, it was just like, okay, like, this is something that I can, get down with, in piano. Like, playing the piano really does give me peace, and it's interesting because the way I learn is off YouTube. Yeah, so during the pageant, I actually played Stay by Rihanna as my talent section, and I learned it all on YouTube. So that was actually a very, very, very interesting thing, and I really didn't think I was capable of doing that. But when you have a certain time and you have to get something done, you're gonna do it. So I learned that. I also like movies. Like, I'm a big movie fan. Yeah, and I like trips. I like to go out and explore. So yeah, that's who I am.
I'm just learning you know how to play the piano. You might have to teach me. I don't know if I can learn from YouTube University, but I might enroll at Gabby University for some lessons. So, as I mentioned, you're Ugandan American. How do you navigate that dual identity? How do you balance the Ugandan side, that culture, and the American culture? And how does that impact not only how you performed in the pageant and your pageant experience, but just as a student at Syracuse, as a Black woman in America? How does that all play into who you are in society?
So one thing I would say is that my family will never let me forget that I'm Ugandan. So you find a lot of times my mom speaks to me only in Luganda. She's always, whenever I come back from school, it's only Ugandan food that I'm eating. So it's just like a constant reminder of like who I am and where I came from. Before COVID, we used to always go to Uganda every single year. That was a must, but COVID came and things changed. But hopefully, I'll be in Uganda this summer, in July. And honestly, at my school, like the African population is very, very big, and everyone loves their country. It's not hard to like you can't forget where you're from, especially because it's like everyone in our school who's African is like a big unite. Like they all are very united and they all are friends with each other. So it's not hard to find someone who is like who is like West African and they all like come together. When they talk, you can tell that they have very much of the same culture upbringings. When I can relate to them in some ways, so it's just like that also plays a part of who I am because some people go to school and they forget like where they came from. They join white frats. Not at Syracuse. Syracuse we're no. But being around people who actually have the same upbringing, being African, that just reminds me of like where I came from and why I love being Ugandan.
That is really cool because, mentioning that going into a big campus with other cultures and people from all walks of life, you can get lost a little bit. So having people who ground you and remind you you're still an African girl at heart, you're still a Ugandan girl at heart, and our parents will never let us forget we are Ugandan first, American second. So I definitely understand that. So, Gabby, I want to know, and I'm pretty sure everybody else wants to know, what is next, right? You've had the taste of this competition. You've won. You've gone through the entire process. Are we seeing more competitions in the future? Are we seeing you maybe on a national stage? Come on, girl, give us some tea.
So, I would be very open to another competition. It was really fun. I learned a lot about myself, and it was such a great outcome, and I love the love I received, and I really would if an opportunity came. But as of right now, I'm just focused on school. Already starting to think about grad school, stuff like that. So if it comes, I would. You would see me on another stage representing Uganda as I did before.
And we will be right there rooting for you, flags in hand, clicking all the likes and all the votes and the share buttons. You will be back in our WhatsApp group chats because you were in every WhatsApp group chat. Vote for Gabby. I was like, yes, I did vote for Gabby. So I do have to pivot a little bit, more of the educational side, because it looks like everything you try for fun, you succeed, right? We did a pageant for fun, we won, right? We learned piano for fun. We learned we succeeded. We danced for fun. We succeeded. Okay, so let's pivot a little to school. A lot of people don't find school fun, and it is my understanding you like school. You like school, and you're a political science major, law on the pre-law track. How do we get to that major? Out of all the other majors, how do we get there, and where do you want to take that?
So growing up, it was either a doctor or a lawyer or an engineer, but I've always been interested in law. I didn't realize I wanted to be a lawyer, of course, until like later on, probably like my senior year of high school. But when I was like filling the applications, it was like, okay, like, pick your major. I was just like, you know what, let's go with political science. So when I came to Syracuse, it was just like really, really, really interesting learning about the law. And Syracuse does have a lot of clubs of like, the black lawyers. It's like a group of black African lawyers, not really lawyers, but they prepare you for law school. Stuff like that. It just made me more, encouraged and intrigued to, be a lawyer. So right now I'm on the pre-law track in hopes of becoming an immigration lawyer. So yeah. Yes.
Immigration law, because our people need that.
Yeah.
There are not a lot of African immigration lawyers. As someone who works in that field, not as a lawyer, but somebody who works in the legal field, I'm noticing we lack diversity. and not only in the law field, but specifically immigration law. And, you could help a lot of our family members out, you know. So I know I mentioned that a lot of young girls, dream about being in pageants and competitions such as this one. What advice would you have for people who look up to you? Because I know that's so weird to think somebody looks up to me, but there are people who do look up to you. It takes courage and, brave. You were brave to join and you put yourself out there in these competitions. What advice do you have for the young girls who are looking up to you in this moment and say, Mom and Dad, I want to be like her. I want to excel at everything I do. I want to be in a pageant. I want to win.
I would honestly just go for it. Like, a lot of the things I've done, it has just been off like, you know what, let me do it, And if you actually have your mind set to win and set to do it, you're going to succeed. I just think the energy you put in, the time and efforts, always will have a result of the best outcome. So, go for it. Don't let anything discourage you. Don't ever think that you're not good enough. Don't think that, because someone else did it that doesn't look like you or doesn't have the same things you have won or succeeded that you won't. I say that it's best to follow what your heart desires. You never know the outcome, just as I never knew the outcome. And, just go for it.
I want to be like you when I grow up. Definitely. No, because there's a confidence in you that a lot of young women don't have at your age. So that's admirable, first and foremost. So on that note, who inspires you? Who inspires Gabby to be this confident young lady, to succeed, to excel, to get up every day and go to school and make all these plans that seem so big, but you're like they're within reach? Who inspires you?
I wouldn't say who, I would say what. The way I grew up, watching my mom struggle, all that we went through has just been a, encouragement to want to do better for myself and my family. Coming here to the United States, obviously they don't forget to remind you that you're here for school. And it's it may be annoying to hear, someone always on your back or someone always reminding you, the only reason you're here, it's just, but, coming to college and actually seeing, people actually fail out or drop out or not complete the classes, it's actually been something that's just wow, yeah, I can't do that. Not even just because of me, just because it's I don't want to disappoint my mom and disappoint my family, especially because all the efforts, applying to college was not easy. I went through a lot when I was applying to college, a lot of stress, a lot of oh my gosh, rejections, acceptances, it was a lot considering, and I was just this is a big jump from, where I thought I was going to be. And I'm glad that, my mom actually pushed me and she actually encouraged me, and, it was just you're going to end up doing well, just do it. And I was just oh, okay, I will, I guess. But, now that I'm here and I'm actually doing it, it just feels so good for myself, and I know she feels so proud of me. Yeah.
That is inspiring to have that strong family backing, but also to just be self-motivated, So you mentioned, applying to colleges and the rejections, because anyone out there who's applied to colleges in America, those letters that come and you clearly know it's a rejection letter. Yeah, those stress me out.
So we didn't know. You just click in
Okay, new generation, they're online. Back in my day, there were envelopes in the mail. The bigger the envelope, it was a good thing. The smaller the envelope, ugh. So that tying into, the competition and just in life in general, how do you deal with rejection, and what motivates you to push past a no, right? A door closed in your face at that moment.
I would say the biggest thing is what's meant for you will be for you. That's the biggest thing I've learned. Especially it started really when I was getting rejected from some schools and, waitlisted and accepted. It was just okay, this is a school I really have my mind set up on. And I was just imagine if I had went to school, I probably wouldn't have done the things I've done now. And it's just the biggest blessing of all to be able to, accept the no's and move on and be okay, So I just believe whatever's meant for you will be for you.
Listen, I don't know if I was that wise at that age. So it's really nice to see that you have such a good grasp on life and you have this wisdom. Is there anything else that you would want to share with the people who supported you through this process, people who are still supporting you, with your mom, family members, the Ugandan community here, the Ugandan community back home? Any parting words for us?
I love you guys so much, and I thank you guys so much for what we had gone through. I thank you guys for supporting me. I thank you guys for being with me through everything I endured. You know, it really wouldn't have felt the same without the support of you guys, and I could feel the excitement, you know, when I did win. And, you know, thank you. Hopefully we have another part on a bigger stage, bigger platform. But I thank you guys so much, and I love you guys dearly.
Guys, you have to come back when we are doing Miss World. I hope I am honored to interview you then when you are crowned Miss World. But we thank you so much for taking this time to sit down with me and chat. And I hope you guys got to know a lot more about Gabby, because I surely did. And can I tell them you'll teach us all piano if we come by? Okay, so she will teach you piano if you ask, and maybe, you know, schedule, because she's a busy young lady. She's trying to get into law school. I'm already seeing it in her future, right? So thank you so much, Gabby. I've thoroughly enjoyed my time with you, and I can't wait to see what you do next. Just know you have an entire group behind you supporting you. Thank you so much. Good night, guys. Bye.